we got to interview him at Terrific Con. He's a super chill guy with a ton of great stories. If you're familiar with his work, you've seen him on Top Cow's Witchblade. You've seen him on X-Force, working notably with the X-23. He's done DC work. He's done Marvel. He's working on his own stuff. It's totally great. Awesome. Everybody, please welcome the one and only Mr. Mike Choi.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah, man. So, again, thank you so much for the interview at Terrific Con. I think you're the only person at this time that I've interviewed who actually asked me um, to what were the questions ahead of time. So, thank you for being different. It was very encouragingly fun.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think what it was that we kept pushing off the interview because I was actually it was the first time in a long time I actually was working a convention and like actually doing sketches and signatures and stuff, and I kept pushing it, and I just wanted to prepare the stuff in my head. I don't know if I remembered any of the questions that you were saying. I think I was just stalling, but I think it came out okay. I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
No, it's all good. You definitely did great, man. And I think, like I said, we talked about, like I said, we talked about your X-Force work. We talked about that, quite a few things, and I'm sure we can easily just re-elaborate here because, like you said, whatnot. But I'll let the other two who just got familiar with your work start some of those questions. I'll just sprinkle mine in. So, Leo, Carrie, you want to take it away from there?
Yeah.
Yes, I have many questions. Oh no, you go first, Leo, because you always have to wait till the end. So
No, that's okay. Talking about Terrificon, you work in the con. How did that con work for you?
It worked out great. I took a long break from conventions. I really enjoyed them in the beginning of my career, but then I got super jaded. And it's always you could have 100 great like 100 great like interactions with fans and stuff, and then you get a couple who are just kind of like just leave a bad taste in your mouth, and that just I kind of let that linger, and it kind of shaped like how I kind of viewed conventions and unfortunately fans as well. And I just took a long break for like 10 years, and it was fun to do. I have recently I don't know, I've started being a fan of comic books again. Usually there's like this, I'm so sorry, my sister who lives in New York, and she is in Korea right now with my mom. They're visiting Korea. She keeps texting me, but she's on Korea time, so I'm just like looking at her stuff come up.
Oh, it's all good, man.
Like, all right, I love you, but shut up. All right, okay. But yeah, sorry, but yeah, like I got burnt out with comic books. I got burnt out with conventions, burnt out with comic books. But honestly, like I recently, in the last like 3 or 4 years, started really getting back into the fanboyness. Like this squeaking chair right now. This is my office chair. This is where I work. I paint over here and I do digital work over here. But usually, like through that door, it's my bathroom / podcasting room usually, because I got my what do you call it? My slab books on the wall behind me. I recently started getting into those because I don't know, it's just really cool seeing them sometimes, and you just remember like all the books that look good now, but also got you into comic books in the first place. So just the weirdest stuff that I have up there, like none of them are like key comics, but they're like the first G.I. Joe comic book I ever read, or X-Men #5, that was Jim Lee's book, that was my first subscription book that I ever got, and in the mail, and that's got so it's like, it's nostalgia, but also at the same time there's a lot of like stuff, like the recent stuff that I just think like, holy crap, that cover is amazing. It's really rare, or it's not rare at all. I don't care. I want it slabbed so I can put it on my wall. So Terrificon was great, but I did get a chance to like meet fans and do sketches and stuff, but I also got the chance to get a whole shitload of comic books signed by Adam Hughes and Jim Lee.
Oh my God.
So it's like that. It's really like that. Like you know, I had some people like took photos of my table because I take little breaks. I'm on the thing. I would write a little message saying, "I'll be back in 15. I'm just meeting Adam Hughes because it's fucking Adam Hughes," you know. So
Yeah.
it's like best of both worlds. I'm a fan first. That just happens to also make comic books.
Right.
So it's kind of great. And like these conventions and stuff, like once I started doing them with that mindset, it's kind of made things kind of like a lot more interesting and a lot more fun. And to be honest, like, you know, how I did have some bad interactions with fans, like, you know, people who would, you know, send their kids over because they knew that I would do a sketch for a kid, and then like you know, they wouldn't like let me personalize it, and then you're just like, oh shit, you have no idea what the hell, and you know,
right,
you just feel kind of gross. And then they'd be like, you know, I just always like wonder, like I hope I'm being, you know, pleasant and polite, and you know, this and that. But at the same time, I'll get stuff signed now, and you know, it's a totally different thing. Like being on that side of the table and being on the other side of the table. Like I could literally be on my feet for, you know, 7 hours, which I plan on doing in New York because I'm just going strictly as a fan to New York.
Right.
I just have a stack of commissions I'm doing ahead of time, and just so I can make some money. But then after that, I'm just like cruising it and just getting a lot of sketches, meeting my friends who are also, you know, artists, and the look on their faces usually, what the hell are you doing? And it's like,
right.
How are you? Can I get the sign, please? And mind the spine, please, because I won a 9.8. Thank you. You know.
That's
so
funny.
It sounds like you rekindled your love for comics quite a bit.
I really did, and I say this to anyone who listened. The reason why I got back into it was I listened to a Rob Liefeld's podcast.
Oh wow!
So he's got that Robservations thing, and you know, say what you will about Rob, but the thing is, like, he is a fan of comic books, and you know, just getting into, hey, it's okay if you're a fan, you know what I mean? Like, it's okay if I just fan out and just enjoy comic books as opposed to like seeing it as business and seeing it as work, and that really helped me, like, you know, tell myself, hey, it's okay to like not work a convention and just kind of enjoy yourself, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny that you brought up some of that, because I remember like we were trying to talk to Charles Soule, who I know was the kind of on the same row as you, just maybe a
oh yeah, he was sitting next to me. I mean, that's the thing with conventions sometimes, is that like he sat next to me. I was within like 5 feet of him for like 3 days in a row. I think we said like 7 sentences.
Yeah,
because we were constantly just like you know, but it was good. But
yeah, but I remember he was talking, like, because we were trying to get an interview for him, and he was saying like how he doesn't really do like con interviews anymore. Like, you know, he was fine like if we reached out to have him on the show like we had with you, but he was saying like he had this horrible encounter, and he didn't go into detail, and of course I didn't really, you know, I didn't press it, but he had this horrible experience that just kind of turned him off from that, and I felt so bad because, like you said, you know, you have these people who just, they're only thinking about themselves. They're only thinking about what I can get from this guy and whatnot. But they don't think about, oh, I'm ruining the experience for everybody. Because, like you said, you know, you question. It's like being lied to. You know, you question, like, is this person genuinely a fan, or do they have some ulterior motive? Like, you're getting these things signed. Is this for you? Did you read this book? Did you, you know, or are you just getting it signed and then you're going to make a bundle, and, you know, I'll never see a cent of it, but that's my autograph. And,
yeah,
you know, and it's, you know, it's sad, you know, because, you know, I met you years ago I think I was at an NYCC, and, you know, you signed the issues of X-Force I had. And again, thank you. I mean, I loved the work that you did with Craig and Christopher on that. It was just absolutely fantastic. but again, I like meeting you guys because, you're people too. And, talking about the book and showing like, I loved your work. And, you did some solid fucking work, dude, and sometimes that's enough.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't want it to seem like, by the way, I think that New York Comic Con that you saw me at, if it was like a while ago, that might have been my last con where I was like, fuck this shit. Like, I'm not doing this shit again. It really is like, it's you. I blame you. It's your fucking fault. It was meeting you, signing your books. And I was like,
oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. Don't out me like that, bro. Like, damn.
No, it's all good. It's all good. But water under the bridge. No,
Yeah, no.
I mean, like, look, when I can't speak for Charles, obviously, but like maybe it literally was like just this bad, like he was on the way to or from the bathroom or something. I don't know what happened, but I think we all have this mindset that like we don't. There is kind of like a mercenary attitude recently, I think, and I think where like, fuck it, I'll be honest, man. The reason why I went to Terrificon also is because they had an appearance fee. Not a lot of conventions have appearance fees, or most of them don't, and this one did, and it was at a fucking casino. So I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, all right. And I don't know what my geography was, but Connecticut, New Haven's there, right? I like New Haven, and then I realized, oh no, that's like fucking far. That's like, yeah,
right.
But I went there for that, and it was a great experience. It really was. It was a really good convention. Being at the casino and hotel and convention center, I think it was on Monday when I realized, oh, I haven't been outside in 4 days. Like, that was kind of a trip.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think artists and creators and writers, I don't think we go in with this attitude of being on the defensive most of the time. I think we just assume that fans are in it for good, in good faith, and we really do want to talk to fans and just see, hey, what are you liking? Getting the input, and if like we get interviewed for questions, we know that we're part of this ecosystem where we're all kind of helping each other, and I think there is that. I really do think that I might have overestimated the number of those bad situations, because the thing is, I mean, like, I am a big fan of like a big proponent of like, if I charge you for a commission, you get to do whatever you want with it. You know what I mean? If you turn it around and like make double, hey, good for you, man. Hey, thanks for believing in me. But I already got my money. That I thought was my, whatever. Okay. So I'm fine with that. I think it literally was like, oh shit, you actually don't care who I am or whatever. You know who I am, but you don't really have anything to say. Yeah, exactly. This is purely a transaction where you're getting something from me for a certain amount of money, and you want to, that's kind of like at Connecticut, like someone turned around. I was just doing free. So like if you're gonna get it graded, I'll charge, because I truly believe that. I mean, as a collector myself of the slab books, if you get it signed and slabbed, it's a commodity now. I don't care if you're never going to sell it. I'm never going to sell mine, but it's a commodity. There's an attached dollar value to it. Right. So I do feel okay charging for that, right? But like, let's say like you hand me a book, or literally 12 books, like an entire run, and they're all dog-eared. You've clearly read them, and you just want me to sign them. I'll sign them for free. Fuck it. I mean, like, thank you so much for reading the book. Yeah. That's you actually, like, oh, you actually think it's a good thing to meet me, and here you go, man. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but here I am. So it's nice to do that. I think we do come in with that attitude. But it is just the few bad apples that just like have kind of like made it a thing that just brings a lot of anxiety, I guess.
Yeah, anyway. And it's funny because I remember when we interviewed Fabian Nicieza one year, he told us a story about how it was like he was going to the bathroom at a convention, and you're just doing your business in the bathroom, and a fan actually like slipped a book under the stall for him to sign, and it actually had a Sharpie attached with it, and I'm just like, are you for real? Like, I'm doing my business, and you just like can you let me wash my hands first? Like, calm down. Like, you know, like it's one of those things. Like, I myself, like I've been going to conventions since like 2010, and you know, I've brought like suitcases of books to get signed, and respectfully, you know, but for me, I was like, there are lines you don't cross. Like, they're people too. They deserve a lunch break and a bathroom, and like you said, like they're fans too. They want to stand in line and meet Jim Lee or Todd McFarlane or whoever.
Right.
You know, like they're
Yeah.
owed that time. You know,
Right.
you know that like some people, they just came off with this sense of
Dance,
entitlement.
clown, dance. Come
Yeah,
on, do
exactly.
it. Do it.
There's absolutely that. You feel that. You feel this like, all right, do what I want you to do, kind of, and that, you know, like it. I don't want to complain. I do realize that like it's an amazing thing that I get to do,
Right.
and not just that, being on that side of it as a fan.
Right.
There are instances where, like, you know, at Terrificon, for example, like I was in the green room, and then I was fighting with a piece of pizza because it wouldn't come off the thing, and I had comic books that I was trying to keep in like mint condition in this hand, and I was pulling the pizza, and like I could feel someone behind me, and I was like, shit, I gotta fucking, like, and without putting my fingers all over it, because then that person will be like, well, I'm not gonna fucking touch that, and I'm just like struggling with it, and I finally get it off and I put it on my plate, and I turn around and it's Kobe Smulders.
What? Yo, Robin Sparkles?
Yeah, exactly. Right. And she was just the sweetest person ever, and the whole entire time I'm just like, I'm so sorry. And like, you know, but she was just like, you know, what do you do? And I was just like, oh, I'm a comic book artist. And she's so sweet in terms of, oh, you guys are the ones that make all the magic happen. And I was like, oh, is that something that someone told you to say? Because it was so immediate and so just like, oh my gosh, and so nice that a part of me was just like, I don't know what to do. But yeah, I know I definitely wanted to. Like I talked to her, and then I was asking her if I could possibly get a selfie, and then I asked her, you know, she asked if I could if I asked if I could get something like signed, but not really like a photo or anything. I asked if she could do like something on a Post-it note, and she did a doodle on it.
Nice.
I have a collection of artwork on Post-it notes on my wall. It's like tiled. Like I have like 300.
What? That's awesome, man.
But
yeah.
But like I'll actually show you.
Please.
Yeah, later on. But
because I have a similar art wall in my apartment. Me and my partner, we used to do a thing where we would go to conventions, and we would get, because we know a few artists in the industry, and we would get like commissions drawn of like favorite characters. We used to cosplay pretty heavily, so we'd get a drawing of our cosplay, and we just have it on our wall, and it just became like a growing art collage over the last like 10 years. And it is just like the coolest thing to have an apartment. It's like, oh, you have this? Oh, I have these original artworks. Like, you know, not saying your stuff isn't cool, but fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what it is. It's like it became like this small pieces, but then like encompassing one wall, it's like, you know, a couple hundred pieces. So I'll show you in a second, like after all this.
Oh, please.
But I can hear my kids are outside, and I just know that something.
It's all good.
I don't know how they're dressed. I don't know what's going on, so I'll just wait until then.
It's all good. But
yeah, but I do want to show you. It would be an exclusive because I don't think I've ever shown anyone like.
Oh my god, yes. You know, I'll listen. I'll share mine with yours. You know, we'll.
Oh, I don't care. I don't want to see your artwork.
Yeah, I know. Tit for tat. You know. Well, the one other thing that I wanted to bring up, and then Leo and Carrie, I'll let you take that. Is that you know, and we brought this up in my interview with you, Mike, but because we do, like, we read a book every week, and you know, it's often things tied to creators like you, and when I was doing research for you, you know, you had been a part of something when you were part of a collective, and you had like David LaFuente, Ryan Otley, James Herron, Jorge Munez, and Colin Clover, and you guys called it the Syndicate, where you decide on an independent comic book every week, and you read and celebrate, and you draw something inspired from the book, and you know, and then I seem to recall there was also a story you told me, which if anyone's watching, if you look on our page, you can see Mike talking about, I believe, something about Jaeger bombs with David LaFuente or something like that. I don't know.
Irish car bombs.
Oh, right.
Okay, so basically, yeah. So I'm very close with David LaFuente.
Mm-hmm.
He's an amazing guy. I love him like a brother. He's just one of the sweetest guys. We've kind of had like parallels in terms of our life journey and all that stuff. So we really relate. But honestly, I've met him once in my entire life. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where if you get enough car bombs in you, you have made a brother for life kind of situation. And this was at New York Comic Con like years and years ago. But hopefully, knock wood, we're gonna meet again for the first time in like over 10 years in New York Comic Con. But yeah, we got together, and I mean that's how it is. Like when I was living in LA, you know, I was living in proximity with like a bunch of artists. I lived in Burbank right as DC was coming in, and I got together with other creators like maybe once a month or something like that. You know what I mean? Like your social life is completely gone. Everything's virtual. So your friend who lives down the street, literally down the street, you'll see them as much as a friend in Spain. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So yeah. So basically, he's just a guy I like connected with, and we had a lot of the same interests, a lot of the same gripes, you know, same complaints, and I think that's the thing that gets people together. Not what you love, but what you fucking hate together, you know? And that was what it was.
Right.
But yeah, we did this. It was basically a book club. It was basically a comic book club where we were recommending books that were independent books. And yeah, if you're inspired to draw something, you draw something. And that's what we did. It was a lot of fun. But then eventually, like all things do, we started to get super busy, and it became like a homework. And then we kind of lost interest in it because we were just so busy doing our stuff. But it was really cool. Like that's how I got introduced to Ryan. That's how I got introduced to James. But yeah, it was a lot of fun while it lasted, for sure.
Yeah. Do you remember any of the book that you got introduced that, like any of those books, did you get to meet any of those? Like they stick out, like, did you get to meet any of those creators from those books that you were introduced during the time you were doing it?
Oh yeah. Like, Casanova, with, man, this sucks. I want to say it's Fabio and not Gabriel. They're twins, but I think Fabio did Casanova with Fraction, and
Yes,
Gabriel did
Gabriel.
Umbrella Academy. Yeah. But anyway, but regardless, like that book was amazing. I got to meet, I got to meet both brothers. But yeah, I mean, like we did that one. Shoot, there's another one. But yeah, there were just like a bunch of comic books that the Max was one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember, but there were just a few books that we were just like reading for fun. But honestly, like even nowadays, when I'm reading comic books, it's always just the old shit that I've read like so many times before. It's just like comfort food. But yeah, I mean, look, the thing is that like I would love to be, like my favorite book right now is Ice Cream Man. And,
nice.
I truly love it. And here the thing is that every other issue I'm just kind of like, okay. But it's just that the ones that I love so much. Like they're like, holy shit, so good to me. But generally when I think to myself like, oh, like I feel like reading a comic book, it's gonna be like an All-Star Superman or 100 Bullets or Earth X or something like that, something where I know how it ends. I mean, like shit, it's the equivalent of watching Cheers and Frasier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just the stuff that you're used to and the stuff that you love. You know.
Fair enough. Yeah. No. Totally. I mean, yeah. Absolutely. It's funny because I think I have the same policy I have with movies, and the same within comics. And my partner's on this. Like, why can't you watch anything new? You got to watch the same thing. Oh, like you've already seen 100 times. And I'm just like, sometimes you just enjoy knowing exactly the beats, you just, and there's some comic series I reread every year. I know how it's going to end, but I love the journey. You know, like you said, like
Yeah.
you're still in love with the story and the art and the writing and it's just comics, man. But
Right.
Carrie and Leo, I'll let you two talk.
Actually, we have a question coming through here. No Name Collects, who met you at Shortbox Live, would like to know if you have any advice for young aspiring artists.
Like that want to be comic book artists. Honestly, draw what you love.
Mm-hmm.
It's so I got in such a weird way. I got into comic books in such a weird way. It feels like, you know, Slumdog Millionaire, where all the stars lined up for me in this really, really super weird way that I can't tell people, like, oh yeah, just wait for this thing to happen, because so what happened is that I started at Top Cow. I was an IBM consultant right out of college. And I realized that I didn't love programming as much as I loved comic books. So I just wanted a job in comic books. So I quit IBM and I moved to Top Cow to become an intern, an unpaid intern, and sleeping on a couch. And it just so happened that there was an in-house studio with Mark Silvestri and just a bunch of other guys. And those of us who were fortunate to be there, like Tyler Kirkham was one, David Nakayama is another. So if it hadn't been for that place, I don't think we would have made it as professionals at all. It was just such a great place to learn. So I don't know, honestly. Okay, so if you're a young aspiring artist, I don't think that don't go to art school unless you're fucking rich. I would say I think the best way is still just get mileage and get input at conventions from editors and other artists. No one talks as much as a fucking artist wanting to show off how amazing they are through words and not art. Look how cool that, you know what I mean? Like we love showing off our expertise. So if you bring if you ask an artist nicely, and this is what I'm talking about, like, you know, this feeling of like, you know, what do you want from me? Like at conventions, right? It's not like that in a hostile way. Like if someone's coming up and says like, you know, can you have a look at my portfolio? Shit, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And however I can help you, because it's not as competitive as that, as you might think. And if you're fucking awesome, I'm gonna try to point you in the right direction and just say like, hey, talk to that fucking person over there.
Right.
You know? Because I think we all recognize how lucky we are to be here, and also we're fans of each other. You know what I mean? Because I don't know a single comic book artist that doesn't love reading comic books. So I think we come in with this, you know, this attitude of we're all in this together. So definitely show your portfolio at conventions, but definitely get the mileage in. Don't be too defensive. Please feel like anything that you draw at this stage in your career, you're okay with setting fire to it if you had to. You know what I mean? Like, don't be so married to it as like, this is the best I can do. Like, don't ever think that. Like, everything's like a process, and just keep going. But yeah, I cannot, like, do not invest in art school. Like, do not think that, especially in comic books. Unless, I don't know. I'm not familiar with the Kubert School at all. But the only thing that I'm going off of is just the success rate and also how much it fucking costs. I don't know about the Kubert School at all, but I'm talking about like things like, you know, Art Center and, you know, just other art schools. And the return is just, it's a struggle no matter what. I've been doing this for 20 years and I still feel like it's a struggle. I keep saying that, like, you know, breaking in is hard, but staying in is like infinitely harder, you know?
Well,
you know, I tell people, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's kind of like working out at the gym. You know what I mean? It's not just about getting to your goal, but then once you hit the goal, you have to maintain it, but still try to push forward. So it's a two-prong. It's not, oh, hey, I got here. Let me celebrate it. I'm gonna eat a pizza and just, you know, ride that wave. You got to keep working at it. You got to maintain and
Yeah.
still push. So,
Exactly. Yeah. And you know, if you keep that gym metaphor up, I mean, like, you don't know when, you know, one day you're gonna fucking, like, you know, hurt yourself, and you still have to be motivated, and you know, your gym might close down and you have to find another one, and just stuff like that. I mean, like, stability is not gonna happen for you.
right.
So be ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so uh I used to box, you know,
Oh,
and
wow.
I just started going to a gym here in San Antonio,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been twice, and I knew right off the bat, as hard as it was to go that first time, it was that second time that was going to be harder, because
Mm-hmm.
I like at the boxing gym in California, I just knew like so many people who would show up, and you'd just be like, yeah, they're never going to come here again. I don't care what their attitude or the bravado was. It's like, yeah, the odds that people come back regularly are so low, and that is how it is here. It's like there's so many like little barriers of entry, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
you do this amazing page, it took you like a week to do, you did all the research, you did an amazing job on it, and now, by the way, you got to turn around 7 pages in 7 days, you know,
Right.
something like that, you know. Or you have an inker that just completely buries your work in ink, or you have a colorist that completely ruins the light source or the thing that you had in your mind, or just something that like just, or you don't get paid if it's an indie publisher or something like that. You know, stuff just keeps happening like that. You
Mm-hmm.
just got to remember that you fucking love doing it, and you would not do anything else, you know?
Yeah,
And,
totally.
and quite honestly, like, nothing helps me get back into doing comic books like reading a good fucking comic book.
Hell yeah.
Yes,
No
Karen.
Name would like to say, I really appreciate the response. Do you feel social media has changed the way you can get into the industry?
No, because if you're good, it doesn't matter. Someone will find you. If
Right.
you're good, people will find you, and if you suck, it doesn't matter how many followers you have.
Right.
Comics is the one thing where process doesn't matter. If you paint, if you draw comic books upside down and you turn it over and the reveal is there, and oh shit, 1 million likes, like the comic book studios and, you know, the comic book readers do not give a shit, you know. I don't really know that many big social media names in the comic book industry that are also proficient, like prolific comic book artists. Like, I know
Right.
Gail Simone is like huge on social media, but you know, she's not an artist, so like I don't know, but I don't know how that helps her as well. I just enjoy her feed.
Of course.
Okay.
Um,
And
yeah.
then Chris Tung would like to know, given the awesome success of funding, I'm not going to get this right, Gochugaru,
Yeah, there we go. That's
any
amazing.
other creator books or projects planned in the pipeline?
Yeah. So there are two ways to see that success. One is that it made a lot of money. It made a lot more money than I would have thought. And I came in with the attitude of, as a collector myself, I wanted to give something that would be like, you know, fun to collect, but also definitely fun to read. So that was really, you know, when I hit my goal, and then almost quadrupled it. Each step, it was like, oh my gosh, like this amount of validation. You know, I definitely felt validated in terms of like, hey, I can, you know, this is really cool. Like, people believe in me, and they're clearly showing the evidence that they believe in me, because they're actually investing in me financially. You know, so that was definitely very, very nice. And all I'm thinking to myself is, don't let them down. That said, the number of people who backed the book was, I think, under 400. So from the standpoint of the number of eyeballs that will read the book, it's not a lot at all. So there's that aspect too. And it's that fucking question, like, would you rather be rich or famous? You know what I mean? And I realized that I'd rather people read my book for free, but a lot of them, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's this thing where it's like I feel like I'm comfortable enough in terms of like, you know, financially. I'm not rich, but I don't necessarily, my kids go to public school, because I went to public school. But I have a minivan. I don't have expensive hobbies. Actually, that is a fucking lie. I have a very, very fucking expensive hobby, which is slabbing comic books is like my I guess pot or weed or whatever the kids call it. But my black tar heroin is original art, and I have original art that is one of those things that it freaks me out when I think about how long ago I got it, because I would just get art because I liked it.
Right.
And then the auction results come out of similar artwork, and it's enough that I'm like, this shouldn't be in my house. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
This shouldn't be in my house. But like, but I usually just buy art because I really, really think it's amazing. Like I was just talking about EarthX earlier. I have a double page spread. I just bought a double page spread from EarthX. It's from the late, incredible John Paul Leon. But yeah, man, I have a cover from All Star Superman and a double page spread from All Star Superman because I love that book.
Yo.
It's the funeral scene where Pa Kent dies.
Right.
And it's the double page spread. And yeah, I have it because I really loved it. And ironically, when my dad passed away, I was looking through my shit and I found it, and it's like, oh shit. It's very wow, like this superhero, like this out of the world, like far-fetched, like fantasy book. Still, like, it's such a great book because it deals in human emotion and just like you relate to it. And I can't remember who said it. Like, I think it was Grant Morrison who said, a Superman story still needs to be like if some fellow Kryptonians like land on Earth and you have to deal with them and their superpowers and that dynamic or whatever. You can deal with it in that sense, or you can deal with it in fucking Kal-El's relatives are in town. You know what I mean? And you have to deal with that dynamic. And the thing that allows you to relate is, I think, the thing that separates like good books and bad books. And when something like, when I see something that I'm just like, holy shit, this means something to me, then I have to have it. And it's that collector mentality.
Right.
By the way, Chris, who wrote that question, if it's the Chris that I'm thinking of, he has this website called Nerdcrawler. And it's like this a very, very, that's not a plug. He didn't fucking pay me or anything, but like it's where I just bought a piece from him too. I'm sorry, from his site too. But it's this site that I think I haven't sold anything on it, but Frank Cho is on that thing all the time. Archerm is on that thing all the time. It's just basically a place where you can, hey man, just keep it, be cool. But
be cool. Plugging me. Be cool.
Yeah, but like anyway, like I come with a programmer background. I went to IBM. I have an IT degree. So like him coming in with like, I want to program this thing. I want to do this program that like, helps artists like yourself. And I'm like, oh, something that helps me. Tell me about it, But it's just something that's very artist friendly, where you can buy original art. And yeah, he asked that question. But yeah, like just random. I have the first cover to Gotham Central.
Whoa.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, but that's because I love Gotham Central.
Great.
While you're listing them off, there are two questions that both deal with this as you're going through stuff. So, what is your Grail comic book, and what OA in your collection do you value most? So as you're giving us these, throw those answers in.
The piece of original art. Okay, my Grail would probably be, this is fucking horrible. All right, this is fucking horrible. But like,
Go for it.
I grew up in Hong Kong. I grew up in Hong Kong until the age of 14,
Mhm.
and they didn't have comic books there. Like, they had manga, but there was this. So there's a fairy. By the way, I teach college. All right. And this is how I teach. I go all over the place, and I feel bad for my students all the time because I can't stay on a single thing. So I
You're doing great.
apologize to everyone listening. But so there's the island of Hong Kong in it, and Kowloon, which is in the mainland, and there's a ferry that goes back and forth.
Mhm.
At each ferry pier, there's like this tiny newsstand, and I say this because that was the only place at the time where you can get American comic books. And
Right.
the very first one I got was one of Mark Teixeira's Ghost Rider.
Nice.
And so that became one of the books that I really wanted to get in like mint condition. But off of there, I got like on the back they have like subscription requests. Right. So I requested X-Men, and I paid like quadruple for it, and I got two titles. One was X-Men and one was Namor. And the first book that came in the mail was Namor X-Men number 5. It's the Omega Red and Wolverine one.
Okay.
That's probably my grail. And that's and I know it's not worth a lot, but for example, I just got it signed at Connecticut by Jim. And nice. If it comes back a 9.8, that would be officially my grail. If it comes back a 9.6, it's completely invisible to me. But what's crazy is that like when I think about it too much, it's fucking insane because I am a huge fan of comic books. I cannot believe I do this for a living. But LA Comic Con last year, I spent 2 hours just shooting the shit with Mark Teixeira.
That's
just
awesome.
Talking about painting and how we're both like kind of like we've been drawing for a little bit, but we're both kind of getting into painting, and like we're still discovering it, and like we're just talking shop, and you peel yourself from that, and you're just like, oh shit, that's Mark Teixeira. And like Jay Lee did the issue of Namor,
right?
And like it's one of those things where I gotten friendly with Jay. He's a great guy. When I was going through through a divorce, I went to Vegas and I hung out with him, and him and June, like they took me out, and they were just very, very sweet, listening to me talk and vent. And so I just like think of him and June as like, oh my God, they're like just amazing people.
Right.
Oh shit, they also did Inhumans, the Eisner Award winning Inhumans. You know what I mean? Like when you realize that stuff, it's just like, what is my life, you know? And then like at Terrificon, I bought the pack of like, you know, getting three signatures from Jim Lee, and I signed up for it, and I got my ticket and everything, and you know, I told everyone I gotta go. I think it will take about an hour. So I gotta go. I will see you back here for signatures or whatever in about an hour. Okay, so please bear with me. Thank you so much. And everyone was so sweet. They were like, yeah, sure, do your thing. And I went, and my ticket said session 6, and they were still doing section 5. And the line was ridiculous. Right. And I was like, oh shit. So I went to the front and I said, excuse me, is section 5, I know everyone here is section 5. Is section 6 about to start soon? And the people running it just pulled me out because they knew who I was, and they were just like, hey, just go. And then Jim is obviously just like, hey, Mike, what are you doing here? And because again, it's one of those weird things where I think it's totally fine to buy a ticket to meet Jim Lee because he's Jim Lee. Right. But at San Diego Comic-Con, I was having dinner at the bar by myself at Lionfish, and because they have really great, they have this pasta dish that's fucking amazing. I like save up money just to eat there, but like it's so good. But someone taps me on the shoulder as I'm sitting at the bar, and it's Jim, and he goes, "Hey man, what are you doing here?" And I'm like, "I'm just eating." And he goes, "Do you want to join me for drinks in a little bit? Just me and some family." And I was like, "Yeah, man, sure." And then I take my sweet time eating because I fucking enjoy this once a year. And then I say, "Hey Jim, what's up? Yeah, let's have a drink. And he's like, yeah. And he introduced me to a bunch of his family. And then, he's talking to me about Gochikaru because that just went live. And he's like, tell me about it. And we were talking about it. And he's like, you know what? You got to meet my kid. You guys think the same. Because I was telling him about this stretch goal because it was on Kickstarter. And the stretch goal was if it gets to this ridiculous amount, Gochikaru, I'm going to put Gochikaru in the public domain.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone can make a story. Like I don't own it anymore. You guys, everyone owns it. So if you want to make a story about it, it is as canon as anything that I put out. So I would have loved to have seen that just for the fun of it. And when I told Jim, he was like, actually, he was a lot kinder than everyone else. Everyone else was like, that's the dumbest fucking shit I've ever heard. Jim was like, I think there's a way that you can make it work for everyone. He could see what I was getting at. And then he said, you got to talk to my kid. He thinks the same way that you do. You guys are both so stupid. No, just so like you guys want to just give shit for free. And that doesn't make but I talked to his kid, and his kid Lucas he has his own book. He graduated from college with like a degree that he is not doing anymore, just like I did, a university in Texas. And I got to talk to him, and it turns out that it was fucking Jim's birthday party.
Wow.
So I just crashed Jim's birthday party, and he was just talking to me the whole time about comic books. Meanwhile, his family's like, loving each other and just like, taking pictures and selfies and stuff. And he's just telling me about the most recent heritage auction and that kind of stuff. So,
wow.
And then, but that's the thing. It's like, I talk to him and I talk about that stuff. Rob Liefeld just texted me earlier through DM, but I'm still going to wait in his line and be like, no, I'm just fucking waiting in line. Cause I want to meet you as a fan, not as a, you know what I mean? It just makes sense in my brain. Like people are like, what the fuck are you doing? But I don't know. I like it.
You're just a dude, man. He's a dude. You're a dude. We're all dudes, we're people,
But I think that's the thing. It's like, if I wasn't, I don't know, man, it helps me put everything in the right context. I think I like right in front of me. I can't show it to you, but on my easel, I'm doing a Transformers painting.
And, man, Leo, calm down, Leo. Leo's a big Transformers fan, so
I can't tell you who it is. But it's Skybound. It's for Skybound, and it's one of those things where it's like, oh shit, so my kid's middle name is Megatron.
No way.
Yeah,
really?
So like,
that's awesome.
So it's one of those just things where it's like, wow, how do I get to do this for a living? You know what I mean? But
that is awesome. And Skybound is doing a great job with Transformers. I'm glad they have the license now.
So here's the problem is that I keep hearing this amazing stuff, but I think that's the thing, like going back to like, I keep reading these old comic books and I don't think it's because I think that the most recent comic books are shit. It's because, oh man, it's such an investment of my time. And I can't just like, in my brain, when I finally get to reading DWJ's Transformers, I'm going to really focus on it, really pay attention. But I just have never gotten to that point, Like, 100 Bullets is, my most valuable piece of original art to me would probably be, do y'all know 100 Bullets?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So when I think 100 Bullets was like a third of the way into its run being released. And I commissioned Eduardo Riso for all the Minutemen. Wow. But the thing is, they hadn't all been introduced yet. You know what I mean? So for a while, I had this original piece of art where you didn't know who 3 of the people were. And seeing them like be revealed in the book in real time, like that was such an amazing trip. That was something that I knew I was lucky to see. So yeah, that one, it would probably be it. Wow. Like I'm not talking like monetary, because like monetary it probably would be that All-Star Superman cover. But yeah, I mean everything's like everything, bless you. Everything's like sentimental value. I mean that's really it. Yeah.
Wow.
Brian Azzarello accused Ratatosker of stealing his wallet when
I'm
we were in
sorry?
an interview.
We,
Oh.
Gary, you tell him.
Oh, we interviewed Brian Azzarello, and he was very suspicious of Ratatosker, and at the end of the interview, he accused him of stealing his wallet.
Well, you know, I think it's just that face, I guess. It's cute, but also you can't trust it 100%.
Oh.
And, you know, it's the not talking that's kind of suspicious. I think that's what it is. By the way, so my kid's full name, my older kid's full name is Wiley Megatron. And Wiley is after Wiley Times from 100 Bullets.
Nice.
So telling Brian
nice.
that, he was just like, why? So that was kind of...
That sounds like him. Yeah. What would you do that for?
I know. Like, don't you love your child? You know?
Yeah, no. One of my friends, he's a big Justified fan, so his son is named Raylan after the main character by Timothy Oliphant.
Right.
And the second I heard it, I was like, of course his name is Raylan. Like, you just couldn't help yourself. But
so, yeah, we're probably just gonna stay with the two boys. We got two kids, Wiley and Ollie. Ollie's middle name is Tyrannosaurus. But if we'd had girls, we're not gonna have any, so I can say the names, but it would have been Maverick and Domino. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't know.
Genius.
Yeah. So yeah, I think what it is, like, when people love comic book, I've seen a lot of Logans.
A lot of Bruce.
Yeah.
Carrie, you had a question about. Well, you had two questions, and I think one of them was about a page, right? In his X-Force.
I had a stream of, no, it was X-23. I had a stream of questions, and I even put together a folder with all of the different pieces of art that I specifically wanted to ask you certain technical aspects about. I wanted to be like, dear Mr. Teacher Mike Choi, please teach me about this because I'm curious. Okay. Leo, can you pull up the one from X-23 that it was page 14, I think we decided it ended up being?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this here is amazing. And what I'm wondering is, how do you draw when you're coming in from it on the pencils and stuff? How do you draw the fade over her without overwhelming the character? Because it's like they're added in as an after effect, but they have to be over top of her, and she's got such great pencil. How do you do that?
It's two separate drawings.
Oh,
it's two separate pieces
of
paper, and then you just overlay it in Photoshop.
Well, I feel silly.
No, it's I just totally said, oh, it's easy. But
that's,
you do this. So I'm sorry.
I mean, like, now that I see it, I'm like, and thank you, because I don't do this kind of stuff, but I do other things, and that really helps with some of the stuff I work with. And then Leo, can you pull up my other artwork folder? I literally put together another folder for you.
Can I tell you that, like, you guys posted a page from X-Force earlier, the one with the face in the corner?
Yeah, that was his.
Hi, that was me.
Oh, sorry. Do you have that one?
Yes, Leo. That's the X-Force issue 10, page 9, I think.
Is that the one that we?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, hold on.
Yes, it is.
So that panel in the corner there, the one with Laura in the corner, that long one, that's my favorite thing I've drawn in my entire career. Yeah. That face is my favorite thing that I've drawn in my entire career.
And just for context, everybody, in case you're unfamiliar, this is they're battling, X-Men baddies, and Laura accidentally, through the fight, and she's X-23, so she's fucking up people left and right. She gets a vial of the legacy virus accidentally inserted in her, and everybody's like, "Oh shit!" That like the oh shit face is right there, and she's like, "I'm going to die."
Yeah, that's my favorite. We're gonna say it got stabbed into her belly. Yeah. But yeah, that's it. And exactly, it's the realization that this undiable person is going to die. And I mean, obviously, credit to the colorist Sonia Obak, but it's the one where oh shit, we're gonna go for something, and I feel like we nailed it.
You did.
So it's probably my favorite thing I've ever done. I mean, like it's one of those. You know, who is it that just passed away? The actress that just passed away, the Maggie Smith.
Yes.
Dame Maggie Smith.
Yeah, Dame Maggie Smith. Yep. All due respect, Dame Maggie Smith. So you know, a lot of her. Man, what was the clip from the movie that she won the Academy Award for, where she's a teacher, and she's just
Harry Potter.
I'm sorry.
Was it a Harry Potter thing?
Potter. No. Oh yeah, she was a teacher in that one too. No. It's an older movie from the 60s. But basically, it's just her talking and like just declaring that she will not be intimidated, she will not be blackmailed, or you know, threatened. She is going to keep teaching because she is a teacher. Damn it, and that is her calling and all this other stuff. And it's just her acting, right? And honestly, like. When I thought about it, I was like, oh, if that was a comic book, that would just be dismissed as a talking head. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. I feel like my favorite things to do are those weird acting scenes where you have to get that face to look just right. And, you know, that's my favorite thing to do. Like the big action shots. I feel like, oh shit, that's a lot of logistics, but it's the acting ones that are
well. I think the other thing that's
hold on, Drew. What was the movie? The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. But what was I think the best thing, especially Mike, is that whole panel. You know, you like someone. You know, Craig and Christopher, the co-writers of X-Force. They could have said anything, but it was just they were like, nope, it's gonna be a quiet panel, and your expression, you know, it says volumes, you know, like you don't need words would just kind of dilute the moment, the realization on her face, just how you drew it, everything. It says all of that, and that is just phenomenal, man. I mean, like you said, like, and there's a lot going on, you know, in that issue. They're fighting robots, and you know, there's just a lot of, you know, gore and killing and X-Force-ness, and bam, you know, just that moment, you know, it's just wow.
And you and Sonia just are perfect for each other when it comes, because I've seen you coloring some of your own stuff, and you're very much the same in how it works. So it's like she just knows exactly where to hop on with where you set her up, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like I came out of Top Cow, and Top Cow was very famous for like a very specific kind of art style. It was Mark Silvestri-esque, like heavy cross hatching and big, bold Mike Mignola shadows. You know, Mark was very influenced by Mike, and yeah, that was like the style. Dave Finch came out of Top Cow. I mean, he's got the big cross hatching as well. Mike Turner did as well. And everyone loved that stuff, but Sonia came in with like this very she was influenced by a lot of the Korean digital painters and Japanese digital painters, but definitely the Korean ones. And we kind of like asked, what if I just leave it all blank? And basically, let's just say the light source is over here, and let's put a rim light. I mean, she took care of the rim light a lot of times, but I was just like, oh, it's daytime and the light source is here. And she would just like knock it out of the park. She would sculpt it in a way that it wasn't too sculpted, so it doesn't look too realistic, I guess. But you know, it looks. I think we were a really good team.
Absolutely.
You have such amazing fine line work that you don't see as often. Like a lot of heavy line work, a lot of very crisp stuff comes out these days. But when you're saying there's a lot of heavier stuff, and you just have this. It's so realistic looking in a lot of the panels. In the X-23, the drawings of Megan were just wow. You know, every time I saw her, I was just blown away.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, you know, It was really weird. It was a weird time. And when I think about like, oh shit, that was 20 years ago. You know,
Mm-hmm.
X-23 was not a known character at the time. You know, she
Right.
didn't have a costume. I designed a costume just for fun, and that became like an official costume. Even now, it's still used in covers like now.
Mm-hmm.
Eh,
But yeah, like, you know, she all that was really established about her was NYX. And, you know, so that's why, you know, it was kind of really dicey territory to try to define the look of the character and the attitude of the character. It was really
Right.
just kind of like yeah, we were kind of making it up as we went along, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
and that was your
but
first
yeah,
time drawing Wolverine too, wasn't it? On that cover.
yeah, it was.
Nailed it.
Yeah, I look at it
And
now and I'm just like, oh, it looks a little weird, you know. I think I've
I,
gotten hopefully better since then.
Yes.
no, I think it's great. I
Thank
mean,
you.
you've gotten better, but you've gotten better than an already high standard. As
Oh,
far
thank
as what
you.
I've set for you from, it's like, okay, well, there's my stick figures. There's a lot of other people's really good art. There's some really great stuff there. You're up here, and then you just keep getting like the notches as you go because you're learning new stuff, playing with new things. I love. I went off on your Instagram. And you're probably like, why did I get all of these notifications from the same person? But I was looking at your original artwork stuff there, and I really love what you're doing. Are most of the paints that you were? I know you were working with like some charcoal and doing other stuff, but this is, by the way, yeah, and we are 18 plus, so there's a bit of nudity. I grabbed a couple of examples from this for a closer look, but like it was this done, how do you get these textures and all of this? It's was
Um,
that one of the, it's
it
just, it's so brilliant.
it's well, it's all acrylic, so
Oh,
it's just like daubs of paint, and you just like, so that this one was that was
yeah,
the carnage was done at a convention
yeah,
where it was oh, man. So the organizers of the convention in Dallas, I want to say, was it Dallas? I think it was Dallas. Was basically like, hey, do you want to come to this bar? It's free drinks. So I was like, yeah, sure, let's go. And I go in, and they have these easels set up, and all of them are taken with artists who are just painting. And they said, oh, this is your spot. And I was like, what do you mean this is my spot? And it's like, oh, you're just going to make a painting for an auction. And I was like, oh shit, I don't have anything, and I'm wearing white clothes and I don't want to get anything dirty. But it looked fun, so I just borrowed a bunch of Ben Templesmith's paints, and I just
mhm.
dripped it on the canvas, and it looked like shit for like the longest time. But once I found the black, because they didn't have black for the longest time.
Yeah,
Like once I had the black, that's when, oh shit, I could just do this and this, and it came together. But yeah, that was just all just like made up as it went along. And that's kind of how it is. Like even the black and white ones, it really is just like put things together until it looks like something.
okay.
Yeah. It's the
I
opposite of the line stuff, you know, like when you talk about the line stuff, like I'm just like in there just drawing each line like meticulously, and if it's in the wrong spot, it's wrong. Whereas these paintings are just kind of like, hey, if it looks cool, it's cool, you know, and just that, and
Totally.
two sides
yeah.
of the brain, I guess.
Now the saber tooth in the next one, that was done at Terrificon. What materials do you bring for your like con kit for doing commissions? Like you just bring everything?
I think this one is, I literally had 4 colors of acrylic that I was going to experiment with something else. That was an accident. Like there's no black in there, you know, like even the dark spots is like umber and purple. I don't know, but like it's all earth colors. And someone asked for a saber tooth, and I was like, well, that's all right, because it's not like if you asked for Mystique, I wouldn't be able to do it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I just put
Okay.
it all together, and it looked all right, and he was like, okay, cool. Yeah. So
All right.
I sometimes bring paint, but honestly, like this is just a bunch of these big pencils. Like every hotel has ballpoint. I mean, sorry, not big pens, ballpoint pens. So a lot of the commissions I do are just like hotel pens. So this is like a hotel pen commission.
All right, and this was one of the remarks where you'd mentioned like you started doing those, and then people were obviously like you were getting behind because you were just initially doing the doodle to give to people, and that went and you saw that people were turning around and starting to sell them, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
that's all right. I can't.
Which is,
well, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, it just was odd to me because you were like, I'm offering discounts to stuff, and because I'm not getting them done in time because I want to do so much, but at the same time, like then people are just turning around and selling this for. But as you had said before, you know, you're willing to pay they pay for it, business transaction done. But
yes, I mean, you just reminded me that like last year I took a bunch of commissions. Just as a practice for starting to do commissions at conventions. And I was like, hey, I need some stuff to draw. So give me like $75, which is like the price of a remark. And I'll do a full drawing just to like get the mileage in. And I still owe a handful of pieces for that because everything just snowballed and I started getting really busy. And, you know, I kept asking like, hey, you can have a refund. You know, I'll give you 25% more on top. Because it's been a year now, and that's just ridiculous. But everyone has basically been like, no, it's totally cool. Just get to them when you get to them. So that's been very generous. But like, yeah, the remark. I mean, the drawings that you see there, like that Witchblade, that's like 300. But also that's like, I feel like that's affordable enough. It's a lot of money. I get it. I totally accept that it's a lot of money. But at the same time, it's like I feel like it's worth that much, and I try to get it done at the convention, or I give you the money back because I cannot trust myself to take it. Otherwise, everything just snowballs on top of each other, and you're never going to get to it. And you hear
that's something you need to value yourself right. That's something a lot of writers and a lot of artists don't do. They just, you know, like, oh, you know, maybe I'll get a little bit of extra publicity for this, or maybe you need to actually, you set yourself $300. That is great. And it is worth it to those of us who like want a piece of your art. It's like, yes, that's gorgeous and it's amazing. And I'm glad that you value yourself that much.
Yeah.
I can't afford you right now, but
like I said, I do recognize that it's like $300 is enough for me to go, oh shit, I'm not gonna buy that thing for $300. You know, $300 is a lot of money. My kid asks for a toy that's $300. Hold on a second, buddy. You know, like, but it's the best thing in the world. No, hold on a second, buddy. You know, so I totally
save for that.
Yeah, but at the same time, $300 is enough. Is I guess low enough that I always fill my list. So that's enough that I actually have to say no. And that's, to me, is like a good chunk, a good amount where I don't feel like I'm shortchanging myself. I'm definitely one of those people who does not give a crap about, you know, Facebook likes or Instagram likes because you can't spend that, you know? Great, yeah. But I can't buy anything with that. Thank you. And it sounds mercenary, but like, seriously, what's the point of it if you can't do anything with it? If it doesn't translate to something that you need or want, you know? That said, because I don't think it's a true reflection of, remember what I said earlier about what would you rather be, rich or famous? I don't think it's fame, all right? Because I don't think it's like, it's not give me your money, it's give me your time and give me your attention, you know? And I don't think attention on Instagram counts as attention, if that makes sense, you know? If you're going to spend like 20 minutes reading my comic book and shit, possibly even read it again because it's comfort food, that fucking means something to me, you know? Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Mike, we know we're running a little bit past an hour, and I know that, you know, you have some responsibilities as a dad and adult to get to. So, so, you know, if you know, we wanted to end this now, you know, totally fine, no worries.
No, so I'm still gonna. I hear the kids, and I think they're upstairs now.
Okay.
So I can take you outside to see the
yes.
the notes. But but that will be the last thing that we do, I think.
That's fine. Totally fine.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going over the questions that we have. I'm going to try to combine some.
Yeah.
Do you have any instructional art book recommendations, as well as who are your biggest inspirations? I don't know if they would go together or not, but
No, they don't, man.
Goddamn, Kevin.
I'm reading audience questions. It's not me.
Instructional books, honestly, I can't think of any. I think everything is should be taken with a grain of salt. I've never read How to Draw Books the Marvel Way, but for example, Wallywood's 22 panels that always work, they don't always work. Okay, you know what I mean? Like, you got to take everything with a sort of grain of salt. And I'm not saying that I know as much as Wallywood, hell no, but I'm just saying that, like, for the thing that I want to do, for the stories that I want to tell, they don't always work, and sometimes you can break some rules, you know. So I think honestly the best instructional books are honestly like, look, what are the books that worked for you? You know, what are the books that you read and there was no suspension of disbelief, or like tactile like suspension of disbelief where you're like, hold on a second, what happened there? Oh shit, yeah, he grabbed the thing there. Oh, okay, I get it now. Like, a good book should not make you ever do that, right? Not even for a second. So every time you find a book like that and artists are fucking good at that stuff, those are the ones that you should be looking at and saying, all right, what can I borrow or steal from this artist, right? Not just like, oh, I love how this person draws faces. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That I think is the thing that you should look forward to more than like stylistic stuff, because hopefully you come up with that stuff yourself while being inspired, but still finding it for yourself. You know, we still like, there's still professional artists right now who are clearly clones of other artists, and not like an amalgamation of like different artists, but just clones of like one or two artists, and like you can see, oh, I would rather have the original person's art, you know. So you don't necessarily want to be like that. You probably want to just like, all right, if I really like Mike Mignola's stuff, right? Why do I like it? I'm not gonna fucking go in there and just like do all the ciphers that he does, but oh shit, like his storytelling is absolutely amazing. I genuinely think it's on par with like fucking, you know, he's like this is gonna sound really douchey, but fuck it, I don't care. He's like a more sophisticated, I'm gonna say it. He's a Norman Rockwell that makes you think a little bit more and look a little bit closer. I love Norman Rockwell stuff. I don't think there's anyone who's, you know, surpassed him necessarily in terms of just being able to tell a story with a single image, right?
Okay.
But Mike does stuff where you're just like, it's so much more simple than a Rockwell one, but like you can almost see so many levels of before and after, like in a single image. Rockwell does it too, obviously, but like Mike does it so well where you're just like, oh shit, I can smell this fucking location that he's done. You know what I mean? Like, that's just, so how does he do it? Steal that. Don't just like steal how he draws a skull. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, actually like take the time to study it. And I think that's like as good an instructional book as any. In terms of like the people that I draw inspiration from, if you were to go to my my slab book collection, I have a few books by a few books with covers and signed by Alexander Lozano. He's doing some amazing work right now. I've met him a couple times. I instantly just like fell in love with the guy. He's amazing as a person, but his art is just like, it's like everything is just stretched out and just a little bit, where this shouldn't be like the qualifier, but no AI could do this. You know what I mean? Because AI, it doesn't learn. It just borrows. It takes the aesthetics of things that are have generated positive responses and amalgamates them into an image. Right? This shit hasn't been done like this quite before. That's why it's like this new thing, and it scratches this itch that you never thought you had before. That's Lozano's work. Olivier did that for a long time, and he still does, obviously. Yeah, he's my new, like, oh my god, like that's amazing. Like I took a photo of my slab wall, and I was like, this is my slab walls. I'm a collector too. And Alex wrote, oh shit, I only have 3 books, but Jim Lee has 4. And we weren't tagging anybody, right? He just looked at my shit. And then Jim fucking comes in and goes like, oh shit, I only have 4 and you call yourself a fan? And that's one of those moments where you're just like, what the hell is my life, man?
I love your life.
Yeah, it's insane. It really is just like Total Recall, right? Have you seen Total Recall?
Of course.
It's like fucking Total Recall. You know how like he picks like these things that he wants to do? Like, I want to stay at this 5-star hotel at the Hilton, and like I want to meet this person, and I want to see these sites and stuff. That's what my life is like. But because I'm chased by like these secret agents, I don't get to enjoy any of it. And for me, the secret agents is deadlines. But it is kind of weird, like objectively, when you're just like, holy shit, I get to paint like, this Transformer, and then I get to do an X-23 cover, which I probably shouldn't have shared, but I'm doing an X-23 cover before I go to New York. And
yeah, man,
my life is fucking crazy, man.
Indeed.
That's gonna be
Indeed. So let's see that post-it wall.
Yeah, is there any other questions? We good?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I think we're well, I mean, like, we'll have to have you on so we can actually ask you questions, because we had a really committed audience asking questions. So,
I think one of the questions was about like, am I going to do crowdfunding again?
Mm-hmm.
I probably will, because Gochukaru in my brain, if it was funded, has room for 2 sequels. And I know, but they're loose. They're clearly one shots,
Mm-hmm.
but it's 2 sequels, and the only explanation I'll give is that Boy Genius has 3 members, and that's the only reason why there's 3. I don't know if you know who Boy Genius is. It's a band. But anyway, I probably would, but I'm talking to I can't remember his name off the top of my head now. At Image. Who's the guy at Image? Oh man.
Eric Larson?
No. Oh no, it is Eric.
No.
Eric Stevenson. So I was talking to Eric Stevenson about
wrong Eric.
Yeah, but if you said Eric, so that got me. But about bringing Gochukaru to Image. So that would be nice if we could do that. Because that would get people reading it. And I asked people who the backers of Gochukaru, like, would you feel like shortchanged if you supported this book and then it became mainstream, or like you could find it in a comic book store? And everyone's been super supportive of like, yeah man, if it's if more eyeballs see it, then that would be great. But at the same time, I am kind of very, very conscious of the fact that like I'm charging $20 for a signed book, and I don't want it to seem like I paid $20. So I just was very much like, every book is going to be limited. Every book is going to be signed. I did these like kind of as a collector myself. I did these like things like a certificate of authenticity is printed on the book. Anyway, like, just like thinking of all that kind of stuff to make it worth it. So I am just thinking about like, the collectors and the readers. But so I probably would do something like that again, but I don't know. It would have to be the right circumstances. Because the thing that I liked is that Gochukaru doesn't. I never needed approval for it, So that was kind of nice. Anyway, so those are my paintings.
Very nice.
Love your wall.
I've never sold any paintings because I've never had to. But yeah. Okay, hold on one second. Let me see if I can. I don't know if I can switch.
You're like a musician with a guitar. I never sold my paintings because I didn't have. I pawned one once, but I got it back.
Oh yeah, Billy Corgan did that. And that was the Gish one. So that right there is like some trading cards. Oh man, Dikembe Mutombo just passed away. Yeah, buddy. I am. I'll be done in about 20 minutes. Okay, buddy. Do you want? Oh, not 20 minutes. Like 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
30
All
seconds.
Right, so yeah, that's the original art from Mark Silvestri. It was a gift from my time there. Oh, okay. Hold.
Whoa.
Okay.
Sorry, I got
Okay.
Whoa.
I'll be right up. Hey, buddy.
Oh my God.
Okay, so you look amazing. That looks amazing, buddy. Yeah, man.
How's my haircut look?
It looks amazing, buddy. You look really good, dude.
Wow, man.
So
Holy.
the highlights, like that's Jim Lee's Wonder Woman, Dave Johnson, Matt Greening, Simpsons,
Yeah.
Jeff Deckel, another Jim, Humberto Ramos. So what happened was, like, you know, when we first got this done, like this was just empty space, and now it's just toys.
There you go.
That's what happens.
Yeah,
James
man.
Jean, Aaron Weisenfeld,
Nice.
Adi Granov.
Wow.
Yeah, Kofi Minga, Dave Mack,
Wow.
Tula Lote,
Uh,
Scott Campbell up there.
Yeah.
And, he saw that he did that, and he's like, "I'll do you another one." He will never do me another one.
No.
A liar. Chrissy Zulo.
Wow. This is
Jeff
amazing.
Kelly, another Matt Greening, Bart Simpson.
God damn, man.
Tron Wynn.
I swear to God, if you have a Bruce Timm, I'm gonna lose my mind. Like,
I do have a Bruce Timm, but
Oh
it's
my-
not.
Oh, you just killed Drew.
It's not hung up. So I have like Kent Williams. I have a few really like just amazing ones that are just like I need to hang up, but Bruce is one of them. Yeah, Dave McKean's another one that I have to hang up. But yeah, there's a lot of them. But yeah, this is basically
Yeah.
Good God, man, that is beautiful.
So, yeah.
That's amazing.
Goals,
Audrey
so many goals.
Gary Baseman.
Right.
So we
Wow.
know Tarada.
Yeah.
Just a lot of cool ones.
Leo, I think this is like one of the best ways to end the show, like ever. Like, just create nerd envy across the internet. You know?
It is.
But well, on that note, Mike, thank you so much for taking the time, man. Just everything was just fantastic. The stories and obviously, you know, if you have another crowdfunding project or links to any new works, send it to us. We'll gladly promote it on our page. And every little bit helps and stuff. But you know, and in the end, if there's any new projects coming on, let us know. We'd more than glad to have you back on the show. But thank you again, man, for taking the time.
So much. You know what? Hold on a second. If we're gonna hold on. This is
I'm excited about this. We're going in a dark room.
Adi
Oh
Grana.
no.
Hold on.
Traveling in Mike Choi's world.
So this is the bedroom. It is a mess. Jay Medusa, he did like just as a friend.
Right.
Lee Death.
Nice.
Juan Gardino. These are Alex Ross designs for the X-Men.
What?
So Jean Grey. So remember how I said, like, yeah, this is my Black Tar heroine?
Yeah, no, I'm seeing it.
Okay. So Iceman.
Right.
These were legit my first purchases when at IBM. So when I was a big comic book fan, but like yeah. Anyway. Let's see.
Oh boy. I'm gonna need some water. I'm overheating. This is just, the envy is so real, man.
They definitely belong in the bedroom. This is yes.
So like that's actually that's on my comic. And there's
wow, look at that.
Hold on a second. That's Laniel Hughes when he did
what?
But that's the Minuteman piece.
Wow. Oh my dude.
And my fucking kid put a sticker on it.
Now it's perfect.
no.
You know, priceless.
Yeah. But
You
yeah,
know?
3 of the characters had not been revealed yet when he drew
Yeah.
that.
That's,
I
oh
think
my god.
just been revealed, but
Thank you. Oh god, so much envy. Leo, take end the show. Like just end it. I can't. My brain's broken.
Thank you so much. Actually, you know what? Let me show you one last thing.
Oh my god. I'm gonna go to a nerd coma.
No, hold on a second.
Mike, can I move into your basement for just like a week? Just like I'll take up. Can I move into your basement for just like a week? Like I'll hang out in a corner. I'm very quiet. Okay. I'll just like sneak out and take
pictures. This is the piece I'm going to end with. Okay. This
Please.
is the piece I'm going to end with.
Okay.
It's the Powerpuff Girls. It's the original production cell signed by Craig McCracken.
Oh my god. What?
Anyway, exactly. Anyway, all right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you, Mike.
Yeah, Leo, sign him off.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Leo.
It's been so much fun.
Yeah, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
where do you like people following you on social?
Mike Choi Art on Instagram is probably the best way. Yeah.
Awesome.
And I've been on Threads a lot, but please don't follow me on Threads because I act like not a bot, but I can't not pretend everyone's not a real person on Threads. Like I don't know. It's a weird yeah. I just answer everything like, "Oh, you're a bot, so I'm not going to take you seriously." Like everything I respond to on there is like literally like, "I'm not taking you seriously." So it could be abrasive. So don't follow me.
Okay.
Okay.
Good to know.
All right. So Instagram.
So-
Yeah. Hey.